In healthcare, accountability is underpinned by three key legal principles: consent, negligence, and liability. These principles establish the framework for ensuring safe, ethical, and lawful practice. Consent, a fundamental requirement that ensures patients' rights to autonomy and decision-making are respected. Practitioners must obtain valid, informed consent before any treatment. Negligence focuses on the duty of care owed by healthcare providers. Failure to meet professional standards, resulting in harm, constitutes negligence. Liability determines who is legally responsible when harm occurs, whether it is the practitioner, employer, or both. Together, these principles guide healthcare professionals in delivering responsible and patient-centered care, while also protecting practitioners and organizations from legal repercussions. Failure to obtain consent could lead to legal action for assault or negligence. Legal basis, central to UK law. Consent must be informed, voluntary, and made by someone with capacity. Types of consent: verbal, written, tacit, implied through actions, or advance directives. Mental Capacity Act, 2005. Presumes all adults have capacity unless proven otherwise. Decisions should prioritize the patient's best interests and minimize restrictions on their freedoms. Consent is a cornerstone of ethical and legal healthcare practice, ensuring patients have the autonomy to make informed decisions about their care. It can take different forms depending on the situation, including informed consent, clear understanding of the risks, benefits, and alternatives. Tacit consent, implied agreement through actions or circumstances. Verbal consent, spoken agreement for procedures or treatments. Written consent, formal documentation, often required for significant interventions or advanced care directives. Unconscious patients, decisions made in their best interest when consent cannot be obtained. Minors, special considerations apply, balancing parental involvement and the child's competence. Understanding these areas helps practitioners respect patient rights and navigate complex clinical scenarios. Certain situations allow for treatment without prior consent to protect the patient or others. Life-saving emergencies: when a patient is unconscious, immediate treatment is given, with a full explanation provided later. Intraoperative emergencies: additional procedures are performed if delaying them would pose significant risks. Mental Health Act, 2007. Patients detained for severe mental health conditions can be treated for mental illness without consent, but physical conditions still require consent if they have capacity. Public health risks: treatment may be mandated for conditions like rabies, cholera, or tuberculosis to prevent public harm. Severe illness in poor conditions: under the National Assistance Act, 1948, interventions may occur if a patient is critically ill and living in unsafe, unhygienic conditions. These exceptions prioritize safety while ensuring ethical practice. Consent is a collaborative process that requires clear communication and partnership between the practitioner and the patient. Patients must be informed about the nature, purpose, potential effects, and material risks of the treatment, the consequences of refusal and any available alternatives. A strong, trusting relationship between the practitioner and the patient is key to obtaining valid consent. Additionally, accurate and timely documentation of the decision-making process is essential to ensure accountability and compliance with guidelines such as the DOH, 2009, Reference Guide to Consent for Examination or Treatment. For consent to be valid, the individual must have the capacity or competence to make decisions. This involves determining 1. Presence of impairment or disturbance: is there a disruption in the functioning of the person's mind or brain? 2. Impact on capacity: if such impairment exists, does it sufficiently limit the person's ability to make the specific decision at hand? Assessing capacity ensures that decisions are informed, voluntary, and made by someone capable of understanding and weighing their choices. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this video presentation. And see you to the next part of this video.